Hello and happy Tuesday, everyone. I am super excited to have as my guest today, Jacob Wheeler with Ace of Diamonds Painting. How are you, Jacob?
I'm fantastic, Tracy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you.
Absolutely.
So tell everybody about your business, a little bit about your business, Jacob.
Absolutely. So I'm the main estimator for Ace of Diamonds Painting. We're going to be your local choice for both interior, exterior, commercial, or residential painting.
How long have you guys been in business?
It's a great question, Tracy. We've been in business for this is going to be our 13th year.
13 years. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
we're super excited.
I bet you are. So you doing anything special for your 13th anniversary?
Well, yeah, I think what we're doing is we're working on priming up our process to make sure everything is super smooth so that the very first phone call when you give me a call to get you onto my calendar, all the way until that you give us that 5-star review, that you're absolutely happy the entire way. So this year, we're really taking apart the entirety of the process and making sure that it works for everybody.
Oh, excellent. Well, you guys do a great job. I've heard nothing but outstanding reviews from folks that have used you.
Thank
So,
you.
um, so tell us, as a painter, there's a lot of different painters out there. What makes you guys unique?
Just as I was mentioning about that process, it's entirely about finding out what's really important with our clients. You know, we do get some people that call in and all they want is just to throw some paint on the side of their house, but that's really not going to be the type of painters that Ace of Diamonds is. We want to take that time. We want to make sure we do a really good job in prep work. We want to make sure that we communicate with you every step of the way and we use our proven system to make sure that you're in the know during the entirety of the process. And of course, we also have something called a no exclusion warranty, which is fantastic and new with us as well, which means exactly that. So whether you mess it up, I mess it up, or God messes it up, we're going to come back and we're going to make it right for you during that time period. So give us a call. We definitely want to help them out with that.
So just out of curiosity, what's the time frame for that?
That's a great question. So as far as getting onto my schedule for an estimate, I'm about a week out. As far as starting the work, we're between 3 and 4 weeks out from when we get a signed proposal and a 50% down deposit.
Right. Well, that makes sense because it's in the height of the summer and that's when people paint. You can't paint very well when it's cold.
That is correct.
So, just to share something, my neighbor had their house painted about a year ago,
Okay.
and they had to have somebody come back out and repaint. There was basically you could see where they started and where they stopped on the siding. I don't know what is that called?
Is it, did they only spray the house from what you could see?
Yes, I believe they only sprayed the house with paint.
Absolutely. So the problem with just spraying the body of the home is it's hard to make an even coat on every inch of your house. So with Ace of Diamonds, that's why every time I bid the exterior of your home, we're going to go ahead and spray full coverage. We're going to let that dry, and then we're going to do a vertical back roll over that. Otherwise, you can't guarantee even coverage on the entirety of the home. What you're seeing is actually called flashing. And if you look at the side of the house, you can really see those imperfections. And unless you do that vertical back roll, you're going to have that issue if you're just spraying the house. So we want to make sure that we take the time, we let that dry, and then we go back and do a vertical back roll, which isn't a true second coat either. It adds about 40% more to the paint, but it makes sure that you're happy with the overall longevity of the job.
So, yeah, I can see where that would make a huge difference, first of all.
Absolutely.
So, in Colorado, we have such intense sun, we have intense weather. What kind of paint do you guys use and what do you recommend based on that? So, your dollar goes as far as possible for painting a house because it's expensive.
It is. You're absolutely right. I would say my average job size for an exterior paint job is right around $5,000. That's not a small chunk of change. So it's
Mhm.
important to use the right materials, make sure that you get the longest longevity for that paint job as you possibly can. We love Sherwin-Williams. Not only do they make an amazing product, but they stand behind their product, and we love that. So from Sherwin-Williams, they have a couple of tiers, just like any other paint company, you're going to have kind of your low, medium, and high-end tiers of paint. From Sherwin-Williams, they have a brand called Duration. Duration is the number one for Colorado for an exterior paint job. The reason that is one, that they use the purest form of titanium dioxides, which is going to help against the fading. So when you have a dark color, think Duration to make sure that it doesn't fade quicker for you. The
Right.
second reason is it's a super flexible paint. As anyone who's lived in Colorado, especially here in the Carbon Valley area for a while, you know that the temperature swings can be pretty incredible out here. I'm from Florida, and it's hotter here today than it is in Florida,
Oh
which
my
is
gosh.
insane. And it definitely gets way colder. So you need something that's going to flex with the house. So Duration actually flexes, easy for me to say, actually expands and contracts up to 35% so that it stays with them. Guarantee that longevity for that home. So you don't see that peeling, you don't see those bubbles start to come up from a paint that's not elastic. It can't move with the siding of the home.
Yeah, I can see where that is super important because sometimes, I mean, one day we have such a fluctuation, not this time of year, but in the fall and in the spring, it can be drastic.
Absolutely.
So how long would you say, like, one of your paint jobs, for a good paint job, how long should that last?
Absolutely. And of course, Ace of Diamonds, all of our paint jobs, we want to make sure we give you quality. But I would expect a paint job for an exterior to last you between 10 and 15 years. A little bit longer for interior work just because it's not exposed to as much sun.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that's really important because it is expensive and it's a big job. I know we painted the interior of our very first house thinking, oh, we're just going to do this before we move in. Oh my gosh, I never, ever, ever want to do that again.
Yep.
I was in charge of the ceilings. I couldn't lift my arms
Oh, I could just imagine how your arms felt for the next 2 weeks.
and my neck.
Oh no, it is absolutely a lot of work. It's amazing how
Yes.
much work the inside can be compared to the outside of a home.
Right. And honestly, I mean, professionally, it just looks so much better. The cut-ins and all of that. I mean, we did our best, but boy, when we had somebody come back and touch it up before I knew you, it made all the difference in the world. So,
It really
um,
does.
yeah. So tell me, what is the best way for everyone to get a hold of you?
That's a fantastic question. You can, of course, go to aceofdiamonds.com and fill out a form for a request for an estimate, or you could call me directly too. My cell phone, as I'm out and about doing estimates, is 720-687-9745. And I absolutely take both texts and calls, whatever's efficient for you. Just give me a call, contact me, and we'll get you squared away on my calendar.
Excellent. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
No, it's been great. Thank you so much for having me, Tracy. As always, it's a super pleasure, and I look forward to helping anyone that you send my way.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, I highly recommend Jacob and Ace of Diamonds painting. Their tagline fits them very well. They love to make your house sparkle and they do a fantastic job. So, Jacob, thank you so much for taking the time and spending a little bit of time with me and allowing everyone to get to know you just a little bit and your company.
Thank you, Tracy. It's always a pleasure every time we can interact. Thank you so much.
Okay, take care. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.